This is Columbus Concerns, a public affairs presentation of North American Broadcasting. Here's your host, Mark Noose.
And good morning, and thanks so much for joining us today on Columbus Concerns. With us is John Ondo. He is the president of Capital City Corvette Club, and they have a very special event coming up. It's the 24th annual Vets, Rods, and Classics Charity Car Show. It's coming up August 8th. And it's at a new location this year, and it sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. And John, thanks for joining us today.
Mark, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, give us the basics on the car show. When and where?
You hit most of it already. This is our 24th annual car show that it's always been, for the most part, in Gahanna for the last 10 years, and we've enjoyed being there. What's different this year is we've had to move it to a new location. A lot of people probably know it as the Gahanna Car Show or the Creekside Car Show, but it's actually called Vets, Rods, and Classic, and they've got construction going on at Creekside this year, so they had to move us because we would have lost too many of the car slots. So we're going to be on Tech Center Drive, which is right off Hamilton Road. And if you go on the east side of 270 near Gahanna, exit 37 Hamilton Road, around the corner, and boom, and you'll be there. AEP's parking lots and the new Gahanna Civic Center is the parking lot it's going to be at. So it's going to be a lot of fun and pretty easy to get to.
And it sounds like even though it's not going to be at Creekside this year, it's going to be at a location it's very available and lots of parking and things like that. Yeah,
the Creekside location has its advantages. It had a lot of shade and so forth, but this it's just a big parking lot, so the cars will all be in one area. And we are bringing in food trucks. We've got a lot of Peatabilities. I know is the first one that comes to mind because it's great. But we have a lot of food trucks that are going to be there and a lot of fun. Besides the car show, we'll talk a little bit about the beneficiaries to this in a minute. But it's basically if you bring the family out, there's the food trucks. We have a silent auction. So if you are looking to update your man cave or garage, we're going to have some great stuff that you can bid on that I'll chat about here in a few minutes. And we have 50-50 raffles and other great things, live DJs, and of course, probably 300 of the best hot rods you'll ever see coming up from all over Ohio.
Yeah, well, tell me a little bit about that. How does the word get out to the car owners to come to the Gahanna show? The
car shows are their own little culture. And if you ever go to one, you'll see people passing out flyers everywhere. It's old school communication, but basically, the hot rod community, we love our cars, whether it's a Corvette or a Trans Am or a Hemi or whatever you've got. And the word spreads. There's car shows all over the place, but Vets, Rods, and Classic has been called and awarded a few times one of the top car shows in the state. Part of that is because how we judge the cars. There is a judging competition, and because of that, good quality judging typically brings in good quality cars. So for 24 years, we've built a nice reputation, and we get a lot of great cars. You're going to see just a lot of good American muscle. There'll be some MGs there and some other fun cars, but a lot of Corvettes. Probably half the field will be Corvettes.
Well, tell me a little bit about Corvettes. You're the president of the Capital City Corvette Club. What makes them so special to you?
I think anybody who's ever been bitten by a car bug, it goes back to their childhood when we see our first Corvette or Trans Am or Camaro. I loved the C3 Corvettes when I was growing up in the 70s. Just the coolest looking cars.
Yes, definitely.
And it's the American sports car. It's the oldest of the sports cars. The Mustang came along in the 60s, but Corvettes started in 53. And throughout the years, they've gone up and down. There have been better ones and worse ones. But now we're in a really cool era. I would hesitate to say this is probably the best era Corvette since what we call the C8, the eighth generation of Corvette came out with the mid-engine design. It's just huge. I was just looking at some stats today that Corvette sales from last year are up 24%. And the age of the average Corvette owner is getting younger and younger. So it's becoming one of the top, it outperforms Ferrari, Lamborghinis, and a lot of things. And you can do it for a third of the price. Mm-hmm. So it's just whenever you see a Corvette, I just smile and I wave, and it's a cool thing. But, we got respect for Mustangs and all the other hot rods out there too. But Corvettes are something special.
John Ondo is here, and he is the president of the Capital City Corvette Club. And we're talking about the 24th annual Vets, Rods, and Classics Charity Car Show, returning August 8th to a new location this year. It's going to be over on Tech Center Drive, 825 Tech Center Drive. That's off Hamilton Road, just east of John Glenn International Airport. Easy to find, and it sounds like it's going to be a really fun day. John, what technically makes a car a hot rod?
Oh boy, that's a subjective question. I have a 91 Corvette, and you take it to some car shows, and it doesn't even get looked at. Because some folks like to see and a lot's changing in the culture too. If you don't have, that huge exhaust, or if you don't have things popping out of the hood or whatever, that's not a hot rod. And other people, it's like, you see again, the exotics, the Lamborghinis, it's all about the speed and the sound of the exhaust. So it is a personal thing. For me, I like to keep my car kind of stock. I call it 2.0. It's basically the same car it was when it rolled off the lot, with a couple of minor upgrades, like the radio. It doesn't have the cassette in it anymore. But that's I think what's really cool. And if you've ever been made at the Good Guys show or other car shows, it really is a work of art. Some of these women and men put these cars together. The paint jobs, the artistic flair. Now you see a lot of what I would call street rods, where they're putting the LED lowrider lights in. They're doing the hydraulics where they're low to the ground. And it's just artwork. I mean, so a lot of people just think it's a bunch of muscles and it's a bunch of horsepower, but I challenge you to come out to a show like ours, and you're going to see cars you're going to go, my gosh, that paint color is amazing, or the metallic in it. It's just really something to walk through, and it's fun with a family. You can take your son, your daughter, and I would always take my son. It's like, oh yeah, this was your grandfather's car. This was the one, and so forth. And it's a great time to just talk about cars and life and family.
And you don't have to be a car expert to enjoy it.
No, I'm not. I don't feel like I'm a car expert, because everybody who ever hangs out at a club like the Corvette Club, you find out how dumb you are real quickly when you say, "Oh, I don't know what model that is." But yeah, it is a lot of fun. You'll see a lot of folks, and we really want to invite the public to come out. This is not just for the cars that we'll have out. We would love to have you come out, bring the family, have lunch, and bring a little extra money with you, because we're raising money for the Nationwide Children's Hospital Foundation.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because over the years, I mean, you've been in business here with this car show for nearly a quarter of a century now, and during that time, you have raised more than $250,000 for charity, and last year, $24,000 for Children's Hospital. That's amazing.
That was our biggest year yet. I would love to see us hit 30 this year. Weather always plays a big part of it, but the last time I checked, weather looks good for the 8th. And Nationwide Children's Hospital is such an amazing organization. I have my own story with it. I have my middle daughter, Julia, who is unbelievably is now a sophomore at Ohio State University, the Ohio State University. She was born early, and we were at actually Ohio Health. We were at Riverside, and they said they're taking her up to Children's Hospital, which my first reaction, because I didn't know anything, is like, you're taking her down to Parsons. No, we have a Nationwide Children's Hospital on the top floors here at NICU. And thankfully, she had a very easy time. There wasn't a major problem, but I was up in that NICU and seeing all the other babies that were there, and the care that these folks take at Nationwide Children's is really unbelievable. It's a great organization, and the foundation, what we do is we let them have the money and spend it on where they need it. There used to be a time we used to buy teddy bears and dolls and stuff, but those things only last a few years, and then they're gone. Last year, they had there's 2 or 3 now of these, best way I can describe them is gigantic iPad, the size of a dining room table, game tables. Now they can roll into a room and a family can play games. And those were brought by the people who gave to the Vets Rosin Classic and the Capital City Corvette Club. And last year, we had a really neat thing. We had that additional money that we weren't expecting. And Nationwide was able to purchase these things called Brave Bears. And they're little bears that have a headband on them, and they're for children who've been diagnosed with epilepsy. And so because of Vets Rosin Classic, the entire 2026 budget, if you will, for those bears was paid for because of Vets Rosin Classic. So every child that was diagnosed with epilepsy gets one of these bears, and it's a really neat little gift that they get that helps them kind of cope through what's going on. So very proud of the charity, very proud of this club that I'm a part of. We're the largest Corvette club in Ohio, about 200 members. And we are blessed to have these cars, and we just love giving back to the community and doing these things.
Talk a little bit about how you raise the money.
Well, basically, ticket sales are obviously part of that with the folks. Now, the public gets in for free. Cars have to pay $20 to get in for the judging and such. And then we have some great sponsors. Capital City Corvette Club, obviously. We have a lot of our own group that donates their own money. Our marquee sponsor is Coughlin Cars of Pataskala. Mark Thomas, who's one of the top Corvette guys in the nation, is actually one of our guys out there. Esoteric Detail in New Albany. They're great folks. Corvette Care, Lou Griffin Insurance, UBS, I can't say Muirfield. How do you say Muirfield? Wealth Partners, Industrial Sales Company, Fun Trails Accessories. The Cap City Lodge 9 of the FOP is a sponsor, as well as we appreciate so much AEP in the city of Gahanna. And I want to throw out a special thank you to Dr. William Beloy. When we moved our show this year, there were a lot of restrictions we had to deal with. We couldn't put power in some places and other places. And Dr. William Beloy's office is in the corner of the lot, and he's like, you can use our lot, and has really saved the day. So a big shout out to him. He's been a great thing. So it really, it's just really a lot of people coming together. So the 50-50 auction, the raffles, selling T-shirts and so forth, those all add up, and at the end of the day, I hope we will raise $30,000 this year, and there'll be some people who will just come out and write a check or hand us some money too, which is great.
Tell me about the merch that you have available.
We've got some cool merch. I'm glad you mentioned that because I just got an update today. Some of this stuff, if you're not into like hot rod car racing, may not hit you as much, but I can tell you this one thing. We've got a lot of gift cards for restaurants: Roosters, Quaker Steak, Raising Cane's, and the list goes on and on. So if you're a little bit into racing, the IMSA series, Pratt Miller Motorsports is the big Corvette group, and they have donated a signed driver sign. They've donated a suspension spring. It's certified, so you can put it in your garage. It's probably not going to go on your dining room table. Your wife may not like that, but it'll look great in the garage. Bunch of decals, books, memorabilia. Like I say, if you need to deck out your man cave, or ladies, if you want to deck out your husband's man cave or garage, we'll have the silent auction will be loaded with not only these food items, there will be some whiskey and bourbon baskets if you're over 21, but you can get some great items to help deck out your man cave.
You can probably deck out the she shed, too.
Yeah, exactly. You could. You know what? We have a lot of new members actually in the Capital City Corvette Club who are women, and they're cool. They love they know their cars. They didn't buy it because they like the car. They are they're serious about. They'll tell you the trim package and the horsepower and what they're gonna do. One of our ladies modified it so the doors now are gull wing.
Wow.
It's just it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun. Are we going to see a 53 there, you think?
That would be impressive. Last year we had what I would call a replica 53 that was there. I haven't seen. We do have C1s that will show up, the first generation. You'll see a lot of the C2s, the 67s, which are really popular. I'm sure we'll have a couple of what I refer to as the unicorn, the split window 63, which was the only year they did that. But yeah, we like I said, we've got our friends at the Mustang Club is bringing a lot of cars. I got a buddy who used to be in the Corvette Club, but he bought a Trans Am. We still love him, but he's got the Bandit 79 Trans Am. He's going to have that there. There's going to be a lot of great cars there, and the MGs are coming out, which is fun. So we haven't got a lot of Dodges. So if you're a Dodge and you're a show car, you should check out our website, capcitycorvette.com, or just go to Facebook and Google Vets Rosin Classic, and you can actually pre-register through August 5th. After that, just come to the gate and bring $20 and we'll get you in.
So you can come day of. You don't have to be pre-registered.
Yeah, day of. Yeah, this is the first year we've done pre-registration. We kind of thought this might help speed things up in the entry process. But yeah, we've had a nice response on the pre-registration from a lot of folks that have never been to the show before. But yeah, you can absolutely show up on August 8th. We open the gates at 9. My only caveat is we cannot block Tech Center Drive beforehand. So we do have some aggressive people who show up at 7 a.m. You can't do that. You're going to have to park down at the Sheets or something down the road because we're going to have to keep that road clear until the show starts.
Our guest on the program today is John Ondo. He is the president of the Capital City Corvette Club, the sponsor of the 24th Annual Vets, Rods, and Classics Charity Car Show. It is Saturday, August 8th. It is from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., and it is at 825 Tech Center Drive, which is just off Hamilton Road.
Just follow all the hot rods. You'll see them.
That's right. You're going to see them all over 270
Yep.
and on Hamilton Road, and just follow them down there. It's a big show, lots of cars and everything. Logistically, how do you pull this off? Do you have a lot of volunteers?
We have a lot of volunteers. Like I said, our club's about 200 members, and most of them are involved in one way or another. And it takes a lot of coordination, everything from our teams that are going out getting the prizes and the auction items. Obviously we have folks that'll be working the parking, which is real critical with these cars because you got to back them in just a certain way and all that. And then we've been working on this ever since we found out in December we were going to have to move the location. This is almost like reinventing the car show for us this year. So moving it from Creekside, even though I know a lot of people are like, oh, this is not going to be as good. It's like, I think it will be, because here's the big thing that people don't know, or they'll find out pretty quickly when they come, is the parking lot that we're having the car show at is directly underneath the flight path to John Glenn International Airport. So in addition to all these hot rods and the DJ and the music, every 2 minutes or so, there's going to be like a 737 flying about 1,000 feet over the cars. And I'm telling you, that's pretty cool. I mean, short of having like a freight train go through, we've got everything, a guy who loves motors and transportation would ever want.
Yeah, let's see how many can tell an Airbus from a Boeing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
John, talk a little bit about what sparked your passion for Corvettes and for these kind of hot rods.
Well, what's fun is my dad. So often this is what always happens. My dad, he didn't have a hot rod. He had a '65 Chevy Impala when I was a young kid, and he loved that car. And it was a 327 4-barrel, and and that began the whole thing of he's changing the oil. I'm doing this with him. We're washing the car. And over time, he taught me everything about Impalas, which was a big deal for our family. Corvettes became a big deal. But when I got older and actually had to buy my own cars, I never had a Corvette. I never had money for a Corvette. And so I had a Miata in the 90s. I bought a new Miatas when those came out. And those were a lot of fun. And I had that Miata for almost 35 years. And then I took a little spin on it on 270 and bent it up a little bit. So I decided I'm going to sell what's left of it. And let's get the Corvette. And my wife was like, yep, let's do the Corvette. And we found one. And it's been a labor of love for me because it was not in good shape. Mm-hmm. A lot of these guys in our club go out and they buy the brand new ones, which is great. But I call this therapy. Last night I was out late working on some stuff on it. And it's just great for me, the stress with work. I have my own business. To go out in the garage and pop that hood and start working on it. And then when it works at the end of the day, we're all a little bit tech now. It's like there's nothing fun you can get a wrench on anymore. And so having, going out and changing the oil in a car and that is a big deal. And it's fun. We have so many, such a diverse group in the Capital City Corvette Club, and I'm sure it's representative with all the car clubs. We've got guys who don't even know what the engines are in their car, just love the car, and then we have other folks. I got one guy who is working on reducing the weight on his new Z06 C8. He's like, I got to pull this out and put a different battery in because I'm gonna drop 5 pounds off the car, and it's all time, So it's like it's great. It's a fun group of guys that and ladies that we have in the club.
And as you mentioned, you don't have to be a car expert to come out and enjoy it.
No.
And raise some money for Children's Hospital.
Absolutely. It'll be a great time. Like I say, I'm asking the public if you want, come out at about 10. You'll probably get stuck in the traffic jam of people, of the hot rods coming in. But we have public parking available at right around the corner. It's within walking distance. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's a big parking lot. And like I said, we do have the food trucks. We're going to have some other fun things. Oh, and I forgot to mention the other big thing we were excited about. For us, it's Mecca in the Corvette world, but the National Corvette Museum, which is located in Bowling Green, Kentucky, they're bringing out one of their reps, and they're going to be there on site. And mainly just letting people know about the museum. And if you ever, I'll just give them a plug. If you ever get a chance, you go through Kentucky, going down to Nashville, stop at the Corvette Museum. It's absolutely an amazing place. And our club is a member of it, and so they're coming out to help. And, we're really appreciative of the National Corvette Museum coming out to our show because there's a lot of demand. And they said, yeah, we'll absolutely come out and be part of Vets, Rods, and Classic this year.
I see here that you're giving out some 80 trophies.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about what's the criteria for those.
Typically, and I don't have them all in front of me because the judging team, our big thing is we look at the car being clean. It's not really necessarily the fastest car. Matter of fact, you never really even start the cars up. You could probably tote it in and we wouldn't know. It's just detail. Is it clean? Is it well taken care of? You could have a car that's potentially got maybe some love that's been done to it, but we may still treat it okay. It's difficult when you have, like, for example, you can't judge like my 91 with 80,000 miles on it to a brand new C8 that just rolled off the lot. So it's a lot of it's how well it's taken care of. If it's had modifications, was it done tastefully, or did you just screw a hole through the through the side panel or something? So, and we also have all of our sponsors also get to pick a car of their own. So you may roll in with a Hudson and somebody might like, I love Hudsons, and give it an award. So, it's, there is a level of, I can't think of the word, but it's just a randomness that happens with car shows. But 80 awards is pretty good out of a field of about 300. So it'll be fun.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. In addition to some of the cars that we've heard of, are there any rare cars that usually come out, that things you don't see every day?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think offhand. I mean, you see a lot of GTOs do show up, which are always fun.
Oh yeah.
And there's always a couple of what I call oddball customs, where I know there's a couple of guys who have Corvettes that they've completely modified. And they almost don't look like Corvettes.
Look
anymore.
like a Hot Wheels car.
Exactly. Yeah, and it really, like I say, it's a real art. So I really want to encourage, if you've never been to a car show, this one in Gahanna is one of the top ones. We get a nice variety. And it's gonna be a lot of fun. And what's great about car show folks, I don't know the art world, so we're not snobby. So if you come up to a car and say, "Is this a '73 or something?" they're gonna talk to you about it. And one of the things we do now, our Corvette Club does not have our cars in the lot because we're not gonna take up the spots for everybody else. But what we typically do, and a lot of our car show folks do, is like, a small kid who just sees a car, a Corvette, and it's like, come on in, sit down. They'll let them start it up. And we love sharing the cars. This is the next generation, and we love showing them all. I mean, that's what got me into Corvettes. I went to some Corvette show when I was a kid, and some guy talked to me about it. And I should also mention, there are motorcycles invited. We typically don't have a lot, but if you got a Harley, you got a Honda, whatever you got, bring it on out. You can park it as well. It's still $20, and we'll get you in.
And in addition to putting on this fantastic event, talk a little bit about what the Capital City Corvette Club does the rest of the year.
We do a lot of car shows for our sister group. So we were just at the Arthritis show that was a few weeks ago in Dublin. That's a huge show. Yeah. We will be doing more car shows, and typically we try to do the ones that are related to charity events. Street Elite's another Corvette club here in town, and they're going to be at our show. We typically will show up at their show. It benefits local police and canine units. So we work as much as we can to give back to the community, but we do a lot of fun things too. I mean, again, what's a Corvette if you're not driving it? So we've got road trips into Pennsylvania. We got people going down to see the Ark Encounter down in Lexington, Kentucky in a month. We're going down to a pilgrimage to the National Corvette Museum in Bowling Green because a couple of our owners are picking up brand new cars, and they do what's called a museum experience where they get to pick up their car at the museum.
That's pretty cool.
It is really cool. There's a big strobe lights and stuff when they get to pull them out. It's pretty cool. So, and we just do the normal things clubs do. We get together and eat, and talk about cars. We got a men's breakfast. So again, if you got a Corvette and or thinking about getting a Corvette, check out Cap City Corvette on our website, or you'll find it all over social media. We got a pretty decent social media account where we try to show off these stuff. We do a lot of parades. We'll be at the Canal Winchester Parade for Labor Day. We do the Labor Day Parade in Worthington, or I'm sorry, the Memorial Day Parade in Worthington, and then we do Gahanna's 4th of July Parade. So again, we love sharing the cars and showing them off and having fun with everybody.
Well, John, give us the basics again. Let's go over the
Sure.
time and place and what's happening on August the 8th.
August the 8th. We'd love for you to show up. The actual car show, cars will show up at 9 a.m., but the public, I'd encourage you to come at 10. We're going to go to 3 p.m. We're going to be done at 3. There's going to be DJs. There's going to be music, food trucks, silent auction. So bring extra cash. And we will have credit cards available, but bring cash. It just sometimes works easier. And we are on Tech Center Drive, so that's exit 37, Hamilton Road on the east side of 270 near Gahanna. You just take a couple left turns. You're on Tech Center, and we'll have police and everybody directing the way. We'll have signs out, and we'll get you parked if you're public. And if you want to bring your hot rod, you can show up day of and get in, hopefully, if we're not packed. And if you still want to pre-register, you can go to, the easiest way I say, go to Facebook and just type in Vets Rosin Classic, and you'll see a bunch of information on how you could register your car. It's just $20. And bring some extra cash so you can come and be a part of helping Nationwide Children's Hospital. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, that's the best part. Over the last 24 years, they've raised $250,000 for Children's Hospital. Last year, $24,000 alone from this car show. One thing that I always believe in is helping the people who help you. So once again, give us the list of sponsors.
Absolutely.
The businesses who've really helped you out and help raise this money for Children's Hospital.
So obviously, all my peeps at the Capital City Corvette Club and all the work you do, love you guys. Our marquee sponsors, Call-In Cars of Pataskala, Mark Thomas, Esoteric Detail in New Albany, Corvette Care, Lou Griffin Insurance in Gahanna, UBS Muirfield, Wealth Partners, Industrial Sales Company have been with us for many years. Fun Trails Accessories, the Capital City FOP Lodge. Thank you so much. Also, a big shout out to William Beloy, AEP, the City of Gahanna for all their help, and the police in Gahanna who are also helping us out with traffic control and everything that day. And to you, the person who will come out and be a part of Vets Rosin Classic this year on August 8th. Appreciate you coming out and supporting, and have a lot of fun. Bring the family.
Our guest on the program today is the president of the Capital City Corvette Club, sponsors of the 24th Annual Vets, Rods, and Classics Charity Car Show on August 8th at 825 Tech Center Drive near Gahanna, just east of the airport. John Ondo has been here. And John, thanks so much for stopping by. We appreciate it, and good luck. Hope you get great weather.
Thank you, Mark, so much.
Thanks for listening to Columbus Concerns, a public affairs presentation of North American Broadcasting. You can send questions or comments about today's show to Columbus Concerns in care of this station, 1458 Dublin Road, Columbus 43215. Or email us at columbusconcerns@napcomedia.com.
I'm Tiffany Haddish.
And I'm Marlon Wayans. African Americans are 3 times more likely to be diagnosed with pancreatic cancer than any other racial or ethnic group.
When you or someone you love is facing a pancreatic cancer diagnosis, access to cutting-edge treatment can help make long-term survival possible and improve future patient outcomes.
That's why Stand Up to Cancer and the Lustgarten Foundation have teamed up to bring over 30 pancreatic cancer clinical trials to those who need them.
Learning all you can about pancreatic cancer, including treatment options and what clinical trials are available, can give you or a loved one even more than hope. It can help make long-term survival possible.
For more information about the latest pancreatic cancer research and clinical trials near you, visit pancreaticcancercollective.org.
Food. Our survival relies on it. Yet every day in Central Ohio, nearly 1 million pounds of it enters the landfill. That's a lot of food, natural resources, and money being wasted. The meals on our plates require a lot of energy, water, and land to grow, harvest, and prepare. And we rely on a healthy planet to provide that. When we choose to throw food away, we're choosing to discard all the resources that were invested along the way. Not to mention the money that's being tossed out. But together, we can make choices that make a difference in our community and protect our environment. In fact, there are a lot of small changes that we can each make to reduce our waste, like saving our leftovers, properly storing our food, and composting. Learn more about what you can do to reduce your food waste at home, at work, at school, and in your community at SaveMoreThanFood.org, a program of SWACO.
I'm Scarlett Johansson. My family relied on public assistance to help provide meals for us. These meals fueled my involvement in theater and the arts as a child, which fostered my love for acting. The Feeding America network of food banks helps millions of people put food on the table. You can join the movement to end hunger by donating, volunteering, and advocating. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.